Hey. How you doing, guys? Hope you are all good. So I'm coming on today to talk about something that is really important for anyone who is doing something online to make money or considering doing something online to make money. This is a very important key to being successful online, especially with what's happening in the economy. Okay, because as we all know, the economy is not good. We've got inflation, and our cost of living is going up. Bills are going up. And with the online space, this is very important, guys, for anyone considering doing taking advantage of a business opportunity online. Now, the main areas of making money online are obviously e-commerce, online retail, Amazon, drop shipping, Shopify, affiliate marketing. It's all mainly business to consumer. But there's one big problem that all of them have in common, okay? And this is what I want to talk to you about. This is very important, guys. That you need to consider before you jump into doing something online, before you jump into trying to make some money online doing something. There's one very important thing that you need to consider, okay? And that is your overheads, meaning your expenses, your monthly expenses. Because I don't care what people say, and I respect other people's opinions, but most of these online opportunities are risky because you've got monthly overheads, you've got outgoings each month. So I'm going to go through those overheads that you're going to have each month. But you might come across some of these gurus online selling a business opportunity like make money on Amazon, make money drop shipping, make money with your own e-commerce store, whatever. And then they show you there like a screenshot of the money they make. And it makes me laugh because all these guys that tell you they're making 10 grand a month or 20 grand a month or 50 grand a month online, they're showing you their sales figures, their turnover, okay? They're showing you their sales figures, not profit, okay? And the thing is with showing sales figures, which I've never done, I've never shown my sales figures. I'll tell you why in a minute. But the problem is that these guys that show these screenshots of their sales figures, it's just bullshit, because they've got big overheads. They've got big monthly overheads, and I'm going to go through them now. So that, if you're selling products online, you've got your product cost, the actual cost of that product. You've got your online fees. You've got your platform, wherever you're selling them, costs. You've got your VAT within that product, your tax, VAT within that product cost when you sell it on. You've got your fulfillment costs of fulfilling that product, posting, packing and whatever. You've got your online advertising costs. That is actually one of the biggest costs when you are selling products online, because most people who make money online, if they're making a lot of money online, there's a reason why. That's because they spend a lot of money on advertising, on Facebook ads, Instagram ads, TikTok ads, Google ads. They spend thousands and thousands on advertising to acquire a customer, Okay, and if they are, and obviously if they are buying and holding inventory from China or wherever, or from an importer, they've got money tied up in stock, and they're probably storing that inventory in a warehouse, so they've got storage costs as well. Think about all those monthly expenses. Massive. So if someone's showing you a screenshot of that they've made 50 grand, they've not made 50 grand. They've got sales of 50 grand, less their VAT, less their online fees, less their product costs, less their online advertising, less their storage costs, less their fulfillment costs. What else? You know, by the time they've calculated their profit, what are they actually making? So I'm coming back now to what I was talking about at the beginning. If you want to be successful making money online, you need, right now in this current economic climate, you need a low overhead business. Meaning, if you've got a low overhead business, that means you've got a low risk business and a no stress business and a no pressure business. Because if you have a quiet week or a quiet month and you haven't got big overheads, there's no stress, there's no pressure. It don't matter. Not a big deal. You can swallow it. But if you have a bad month and you've got all these big monthly overheads, like I've just mentioned, you can end up just fucking losing a lot of money very, very quickly. And your bank account can literally go right down in, like, very, very quickly as well. So a lot of these guys, gurus or whoever that are teaching you stuff online, all of them, what they don't tell you is, you know, they might teach you how to make money online, but what they don't teach you is, or what they don't tell you, what they're not upfront about is, you've got big overheads, even selling online. It's like opening a shop on the high street that have big overheads. You still got big overheads selling products online. Like I say, the only guys that are making big money online are the ones that like properly throw tons of cash at online advertising. Because the guys that spend the most on online advertising acquire the most customers. That's a fact. What they're doing basically is they're acquiring customers through online advertising. In effect, they're acquiring email addresses. They're going to sell something to someone, get their email address. Now they've got that email address on a mailing list, so they can mail them offers each week through their email software. What I love about my business of either buying and flipping pallets, you know, or making finder's fees, both of them are a very, very low overhead business. Like I'm working from my office here. I've got a cheap office, cheap monthly rent. I haven't really got any other big overheads whatsoever, apart from paying myself each month. Like, I've got no major overheads. I haven't got money that I've got to spend on inventory, like as in invest into inventory. I'm not holding any stock. I'm not holding any stock in a warehouse, so I've got no monthly storage bills. Okay, I've got no online fees because I'm not selling from an e-commerce store or Amazon or wherever. I haven't got these monthly fees. I haven't got any monthly advertising costs that I've got to throw at, Facebook ads and TikTok ads and Instagram ads. No, I don't need to do that because all we're using is our connections for making money. That's all we're doing. Once you've got your connections in your system, okay, you're in your whatever you want to call it, ecosystem they call it, I think. once you've got connections, once you're building connections, those connections that you've got, they don't cost you anything. That's a free monthly expense. Owning connections, having contacts is completely free to build. It's free to build connections, and it's free to own connections and deal with connections, reach out to connections, offer connection stock, get offered stock from connections. All of that is completely free. It don't cost any money. Okay, so that is a free monthly expense, building connections. And ultimately, how do you get money in the bank in this business? How do you get profit in the bank? From the connections that you have made, either a week ago, a month ago, a year ago, 5 years ago, tomorrow. That's how we get our money in the bank, from connections that we build through Google searches, through LinkedIn, through making connections on LinkedIn, etc. That is all free. That's completely free expense. That is not an overhead, having connections. And it's not an overhead buying and selling stock, because we never own any of that stock that we buy and sell. So we've never got our money tied up. We're never paying storage costs on that stock. So what I love about this business, through whether through good times or bad, guys, in recessions, pandemics, bad economies, the pallet flipping business will always be a low overhead business, a low stress business. I know that I haven't got these big monthly expenses, and ultimately as well, because it's a low overhead business, when we are flipping deals, we haven't got big expenses each month, meaning that most of that profit that we make flipping pallets of goods is mostly profit. It's mostly profit. Like these guys that are selling online, retail, these online retailers, they've got such high expenses that, when they sell 1 unit of a product, what are they making on that unit of product after all their expenses? They're making a tiny, tiny amount, okay? That's why they all rely on having big mailing lists, because they are constantly emailing. You probably receive emails from someone that you've bought something from online. You get their emails with offers, offering you special deals, special offers, etc. So they make money on the back end from their mailing lists. But these guys who show their screenshots, I've done 10 grand this week. They haven't done 10 grand this week. They've done a tiny amount of that 10 grand in profit. You see, profit, as I've probably said this before, sales are vanity, profit is sanity. Okay? Sales are vanity, profit is sanity. Put my teeth back in. Sales are vanity, profit is sanity. That's an old saying. You see, people love giving you their sales numbers because they're bigger, obviously. It's big. If someone says, I've done 100 grand this month in sales, great, they've done 100 grand. But that means fuck all. What is their net profit after all their monthly expenses? What is their actual profit? It's a tiny amount. So it's very, very important with what's coming ahead in the next 12 to 24 months in any industry. It's very important, especially the online space. What I'm trying to say is, if you are serious about getting into an online business, okay, that you can make money with, like flipping pallets or making finder's fees, sourcing, pallets of goods, you want to make sure that whatever decision you make when it comes to making money online, you need to consider what your monthly expenses are going to be, because I guarantee most of the online opportunities in the online space, your monthly overheads are big. Okay, they're not small, they're big. Especially if you want to like make money, because you can't make money doing stuff online with e-commerce. If you want your own online store, or you want to sell on Amazon, if you want to do like build out a Shopify store, or do drop shipping or affiliate marketing, you can't do any of those without being prepared to have a big budget each month for ad costs, for advertising costs. If you don't spend any money on advertising online, doing any of these online businesses, you won't last 3 months. You will run out of money. Okay, you will literally run out of money, and that's what they say. That most businesses who do something online go bust, go bankrupt after 3 months. Why? Because they've run out of cash. They've literally run out of cash because their monthly expenses are high. And that's what you've got to think about. And think about it as well. Did you know that each month there are thousands of people across the world starting an online business, like starting an online retail shop, or an Amazon shop, or drop shipping, Shopify store, selling something online. There's thousands of people each month. This is my prediction, guys, and I'm going to end on this. This is my big prediction. In the next year, in the next 12 to 24 months, the bubble is going to burst in the online space. The bubble is going to burst. Why? Because the competition, it's so highly crowded, it's so highly saturated on all these platforms: eBay, Amazon, Shopify. Just the online space, e-commerce space, is so big and growing all the time. As I say, thousands of people are starting a new online business every week. The bubble is going to burst. Why? Because it's so highly crowded and highly saturated. And think about it as well. People selling physical products. Think about it. Since COVID, since the pandemic, the actual cost of products to make has gone up. It's increased like everything. So, the cost of making something is a lot higher. So if you are bringing products in from China, it's costing you a lot more now than it did 2 or 3 years ago. It's costing a lot more money. Plus the shipping costs are a lot higher. So not only do these guys selling online have, online fees, online advertising costs, platform fees, they've got higher product costs. Their product costs have increased. What's that going to do? It's going to squeeze their profit margin. Their profit margins are shrinking. You might see screenshots of these guys. Showing you how much they've made this week. 10 grand, 20 grand. But I'll tell you now, their profit margins are shrinking. They are shrinking. They are. Because bills are going up. All our bills are going up. Everyone's monthly expenses are going up. At home and in business. Right? My bills are not going up. I've got a fixed office rent and that's it. I don't have anything else. I don't have vehicle overheads. I haven't got warehouse overheads. I'm not carrying stock that's going down in value. I like to keep my monthly expenses very, very low indeed. And that is a secret to being successful flipping pallets. And it's simple as well to keep your expenses very, very low in this game. Like, I'll spend maybe a few $100s a month on a VA, virtual assistant, who bills me email lists or whatever. But I don't really spend much money on anything else, you know? I just don't. So it's a very, very low overhead business. And that is the type of business that you need to consider getting into. Like, if you wanted to, like, get into the finder's fees business, which is a very entry-level business into, you know, flipping pallets, all you're doing is sourcing pallet deals from businesses and then connecting the buyer and the seller. That is an extremely low overhead business. There's no stress. There's no pressure. You can sleep well at night knowing that at the end of the month you've got no big monthly overheads. You're not having to sink cash into stock. You're not having to store inventory in a warehouse and pay storage costs. You don't need to advertise online, you know, thousands and thousands online. You don't need to spend money on. It's a really, really low, stress-free business, what we're involved in. I can have a quiet week, and I do sometimes. But I know that even though I've had a quiet week, I'm under no pressure because I haven't got huge bills to pay. You know, I haven't got huge overheads. So the secret in this, you know, in today's economic climate, guys, the pallet flipping business or, you know, the entry-level finder's fees business, they are perfect low overhead businesses to consider. I'm not trying to pitch you anything. I'm just reasoning with you. I'm just trying to say that if you love the idea of buying stock and bringing it in and storing it and, you know, selling it on Amazon or selling it on in your own shop, what you're going to find is you're going to find that you have got bigger, your overheads are going to get bigger and bigger over the months. It's just a fact. That's what's going to happen. And if you want to make a lot of money selling, retailing products online, you have to be prepared to sink a few grand a month into paid advertising, like advertising on Facebook, Google, not LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, Google ads, wherever. Like, you cannot survive selling products online if you aren't prepared to sink a lot of cash every month into paid advertising online. And like I say, most businesses go out of business. Most businesses who start something after 3 months, and it's a fact as well, there's data proving it, that most people who set up an online business actually go bust after 3 months. Why? The biggest reason why is because they've run out of cash. And I'll tell you another thing as well, and I'll end on this note, why that is actually good for our business, flipping pallets and sourcing inventory to make finder's fees. It's actually great. It's actually great news for us because there's going to be more and more online businesses going bust that are sitting on pallets of inventory in warehouses. And I'm already being offered tons of inventory from online shops, online retailers, Amazon sellers, various types of online sellers. They're offering me stock every single week, and they're saying to me, we're closing our shop, we're closing our online store, we're shutting down our Amazon shop, we're shutting this down, we're closing, we've had enough, too high expenses, we've got this stock in our warehouse, we just want to get rid of it, what will you give us for it? So what you're going to find as well, there's going to be more opportunities for us because a lot of online retailers are going to have a lot of clearance, surplus stock that they want to get rid of. And it's starting to happen now more and more and more. But as I say, moving forward, a great future-proof business to run all online, which is how I do it and what I teach, because the whole process from finding inventory from a business to profit in the bank, it's all 100% online. All 100% online, guys. That is the future for me that I recommend because, one, it's a low overhead business. You haven't got big expenses, which means it's a low stress business. No pressure, okay? You can be safe in the knowledge that you can make deals happen and make profit, but you haven't got high monthly bills to pay. Who wants that? I never understand why people, even guys in my business that like flipping pallets, a lot of the guys that love doing it. They love filling a warehouse full of stock. They love filling a warehouse full of stock, and paying storage, not paying rent on the warehouse, paying storage costs, having money tied up in stock that's actually depreciating in value, going down in value. Don't make any sense. Why have a business like that? That's just too stressful. I don't want the stress of that. I don't want to own any stock. I go to bed on a night knowing that I don't own one pallet of stock. I don't own one pallet, not one case of stock in my business. All right? I don't own a thing. No inventory I ever own in my business. I've got no warehousing. I don't use any storage whatsoever. And that is great. That's stress-free, guys. And there's nothing like, in today's economic climate, where things are very volatile and unstable, why anyone would want to risk starting an online business with big overheads. No. So if you're looking for a low overhead business, guys, the pallet flipping business is perfect. Very, very low overheads indeed. All right? The only overhead you're going to have is that, if you want to come into my program, is that initial fee to come into my program. After that, you've got no costs. No. Zero costs whatsoever. How many businesses can you say that you can literally have no, or literally little to no overheads each month, apart from paying yourself some profit? How many businesses can you say are like that in today's economic climate, especially online as well? Especially running an online business like I am, flipping pallets of goods. I know that I can go to sleep well. I can sleep well, and I'm never stressed. I can have a bad week, and I'm not under pressure because I've got this bill to pay, I've got that bill to pay. Sure, I've got bills at home to pay, like everyone has. I'm talking about bills, expenses in a business, all right, in an actual business. So most of the profit that we make is true profit, yeah? If you make a deal that makes £1,000 profit, there's literally nothing to come off that amount. You haven't got any bills to come off that amount. You haven't got expenses to come off that profit that you make. That profit is literally all profit, all right? When you make a finder's fee, that is 100% profit. That literally is 100% profit. You've got nothing to knock off your finder's fee whatsoever. It's 100% profit. So yeah, this is all about, starting a low overhead business, and that's what you got to do. That is the secret to me. It's a secret to any online business. Certainly when you are, just starting out and you just want to keep things very, very low expenses wise. All right, you don't want to be building big expenses every month. So, I love the idea. I love my business. One of the big reasons why I've always loved my business is because it is a low overhead business, low stress, and that's it. I'm not under pressure. Some businesses have to make 10 grand a month just to stand still. What do I mean by just to stand still? I mean, they've got to make 10 grand a month in profit just to pay their bills. Yeah? They've just to pay their bills. They've got to make so much profit each month to pay this bill, that bill, those employees, that rent, this rent. Crazy. Not necessary at all. Not necessary. You can run a really, really streamlined business like I do, where at the end of the month you haven't got huge expenses that each month you've got to pay, and that's stressful knowing, shit, I've got my rent, shit, I've got my warehousing costs, shit, I've got to buy stock, shit, I've got money tied up in stock, shit, I've got online advertising costs, shit, I've got online platform costs, and this and that, and it's just mashes my head thinking about it. So guys, that's the secret to being successful. If you want a long-term online business like flipping pallets, keep it a low overhead business, and you will do good. You will do good through good times and bad, because you'll always be able to have, quiet times, and you'll sail through those quiet times because you're not under pressure to pay big bills. All right. I will be back again with something else in a few days. I will catch up with you again very, very soon. Hope you enjoyed that one. Take care.